High in the Carpathian Mountains, where wind scrapes across stone ridges and forests swallow sound, an empire climbed into uncertainty. Below the tree line stood nearly 40,000 Roman soldiers, disciplined, armored, silent. Above them, hidden in dense woodland and fortified heights, waited a larger force of Dacian warriors defending their homeland under their king, Decebalus. They had beaten Rome before. They had forced tribute from the greatest empire of the ancient world. If Rome failed again here, it would not just lose territory. It would lose its aura of inevitability. This was more than a campaign. It was a test of whether Rome's power was real or fragile. Years earlier, during a period of Roman instability, Decebalus had exploited weakness along the Danube frontier. Rome was forced into unfavorable terms. Subsidies flowed north. The empire tolerated defiance from a mountain kingdom. Humiliation like that does not fade. When Trajan became emperor in 98 AD, he inherited both the throne and the unfinished conflict. Trajan was a soldier by temperament. Expansion was not just policy, it was proof of strength. Dacia, rich in gold and strategically positioned beyond the Danube, could not remain both independent and openly defiant. But conquering Dacia meant marching into terrain designed for ambush. The Carpathian Mountains formed natural defensive walls. Dense forests limited visibility. Narrow passes compressed Roman columns into vulnerable formations. Entire units could vanish into trees and rock. At the center of this mountain network stood Sarmizegetusa, the Dacian capital. Perched high and protected by layered stone and timber walls, it was engineered not merely to block attack, but to absorb it. Decebalus had prepared carefully. He unified rival tribes, strengthened hilltop fortresses, and studied Roman tactics from previous wars. His warriors carried the falx, a curved blade designed to reach over Roman shields and split helmets and shoulders. It was so effective that Roman armor had to be reinforced before the next invasion. That alone revealed something important. Dacia was not a primitive enemy. It was adaptive, organized, dangerous. By most accounts, Dacian forces significantly outnumbered the Romans. They fought on familiar ground, defending their homes. By conventional logic, Rome should have struggled to survive. But Rome did not rely on conventional logic. It relied on systems. Before major battles even began, Roman engineers transformed the landscape. Roads were carved through wilderness. Bridges secured river crossings. Supply depots were established at calculated intervals. Each night, marching camps were built in identical geometric layouts, ditches, ramparts, gates positioned precisely. Rome did not move like a mob of warriors. It moved like infrastructure. When the legions advanced into the mountains, Decebalus struck. Ambushes erupted from high ridges. Boulders thundered down into compressed formations. Arrows rained from hidden slopes. Falx-wielding warriors surged downhill, hooking shields and tearing into armor. In tight terrain, Roman formations strained. Casualties mounted. Officers fell. For brief moments, the Roman advance faltered. This was the type of battlefield where panic spreads, where formations unravel, where armies die, but Rome did not collapse. It recalibrated. Secondary columns advanced along alternate routes. Reserves reinforced weakened sectors. Engineers cleared debris and reopened roads under fire. Layered command ensured continuity. If one officer fell, another immediately assumed control. The Roman army functioned with redundancy. It absorbed shock. Trajan refused to gamble everything on a single decisive clash in terrain that favored his enemy. Instead, he expanded the campaign across multiple axes. Roman forces advanced along separate routes, forcing Decebalus to divide his larger army. And here, numbers became complicated. A large force requires food, communication, coordination. In mountainous terrain, that coordination is fragile. As Dacian units rushed to counter one Roman column, another advanced elsewhere. Fortresses were isolated. Defensive lines stretched thin. Pressure accumulated slowly but relentlessly. Rome did not seek spectacle. It sought inevitability. Eventually, the campaign narrowed toward Sarmizegetusa. Rather than storm the capital with heavy losses, Trajan chose encirclement. Roman forces surrounded the fortress and studied its defenses carefully. They discovered its critical vulnerability, the ceramic pipes supplying fresh mountain water into the city. They destroyed them. The battle shifted from steel to silence. Without water, morale deteriorated rapidly. Supplies dwindled. Tension inside the walls deepened. A fortress can withstand arrows and fire, cannot withstand thirst. Days passed. Resistance weakened. When Roman troops entered Sarmizegetusa, the outcome had already been sealed by dehydration and exhaustion. Parts of the city were destroyed destroyed. The defensive network collapsed. Decebalus fled into the forests with a small escort. Roman cavalry pursued relentlessly, cornered and facing capture, and the humiliation of being paraded in chains through Rome. Decebalus chose death. He denied Rome the spectacle, but he could not deny Rome victory. Dacia was annexed as a Roman province. Its gold mines became a vital source of wealth for the empire, helping finance further expansion and monumental construction. The conquest was immortalized on Trajan's column in Rome, where spiraling reliefs depict the campaign nearly 2,000 years later. But monuments show triumph. They rarely show tension. Rome did not win because it had overwhelming numbers. It did not. It did not win because its enemy lacked intelligence or courage. Dacia had both. Rome won because it was built to endure. Its army was standardized, its command layered, its logistics disciplined. Losses, though painful, did not unravel the structure. When one soldier fell, another stepped forward. When pressure mounted, the system adjusted. Dacia fought with bravery, unity, and innovation under a capable king. Rome fought with repetition, coordination, and continuity. In the Carpathian Mountains, two visions of power collided. One rooted in homeland and resistance, the other engineered for permanence. 40,000 Romans marched into hostile mountains against a larger defending force and emerged victorious, not through a single dramatic battle, but through sustained, calculated pressure. In the end, the lesson carved into stone was simple. Empires do not survive because they never bleed. They survive because they do not break.